Hey, my name is Justus Alleyn. I'm 27 years old. I went to St. Paul's High School, played for the St. Paul's Crusaders under the great coach Jeff Leping, one of my guys. Got to give him a shout out. After high school, I went to U of M. I played at the University of Manitoba for 5 years. I had a great time there. Had a pretty great career. Ended up finishing being the all-time leading scorer at the U of M. Was a league all-star two years. Bison Male Athlete of the Year. We were the first team to go to the national championship in I think it's about 30 years. So loved my time there. Loved the guys I played with. Great experience. When I was there, I studied and graduated with a degree in economics, and that's kind of how I got to the point I am now, working in finance, and yeah, getting down the basketball path. It was always I always loved the game. Like from a young age, my mom she played. I was always kind of around it. I playing outside with friends at school, and I really started to take it serious probably grade nine or grade 10, when I started to see some success in it, and I always loved the game, but I kind of had a couple. There was a couple instances of teams I wanted to play on that I didn't end up making and getting cut for, and then that's kind of when it I had to make a decision of like, hey, if this is really what you want to do, you really want to play college basketball, you really want to, obviously when you're younger, the goal is to go to the NBA. Like if this is actually what you want to do, like you need to work hard in it. You need to give it everything you've got. You only have one chance. Like worst case scenario, you don't make it, but the last thing you want is to go through your life and say, I wish I would have worked harder. I wish I would have, done that extra thing. So that's kind of where it started for me. And yeah, probably around grade 9 or grade 10, I just really started to really start to work, and I just started to see results like right away. I just get better and better, and I kind of found that correlation between, hey, like as simple as it sounds, like you work hard, you're gonna get better. Yeah, and then from there, high school, I started to get some notoriety. I started to play really well. Coaches started, noticing me from different universities. I ended up playing with Team Manitoba in under 17s. We went to the national championship. We ended up actually getting a silver medal. We lost to Ontario in the final, but it was for Manitoba at that time, or at least in recent times, they hadn't really had a history of kind of performing on that level. Manitoba really wasn't viewed as a basketball province, and I feel like that's always on the back of my mind. Like even though I'm not from Manitoba, I feel like I'm from Manitoba in the sense that I grew up here and all that. So I've always played with like that chip on my shoulder from that I had since I was younger, where I wasn't making those teams, and I've always used that to motivate myself. So yeah, and that just translated to college, where I continued to put in that work, continued to, at earlier years in college, we weren't a great team. We had a lot of talent, but we weren't winning yet, and that kind of motivated us. And I was lucky to be around a group of guys who kind of had that same drive to kind of prove the rest of the country wrong, and like, hey, we actually got some ballers out here in Manitoba. We're not just a bunch of hockey guys. Like we can play. So we've always played with that, and yeah, and I've carried that with me. I got the opportunity to represent Canada at the Commonwealth Games in, I think it was 2018. That was in Australia. We won a silver medal, which was the first time Canada's ever won a silver medal. We sent a team of kind of university guys there. We're playing against grown men. And then I also got represented Canada at the World University Olympics in 2017 in Taiwan, which was a crazy experience. It was like being at the Olympics. Is the closest thing I'll ever get to being at the Olympics. And yeah, that's kind of from there. Got the opportunity to go overseas in Europe, which was a dream of mine, a goal of mine forever, to play basketball, get paid to play basketball. Got to see the world, got to travel around, meet so many people, experience so many different cultures. So I'll forever be grateful to the game of basketball for kind of introducing me to the people I know today, and giving me the opportunities to travel and do the things I got to do. Yeah. So one piece of advice to young me as a basketball player would probably be, you know, I know back in the day I took things like really hard when I would get cut and stuff like that. Sometimes it would seem like it's the end of the world, but just understand that the work is going to pay off, and although it might not seem like it is at the moment, just keep at it, keep your head down, keep working, because the end result is great and it's positive, and you will never you'll never regret working your ass off, right? You're never just gonna always have good days, good days, good days. We're always winning. Things are going. I'm playing how I want to play, right? You have to be able to kind of like stay true to yourself. Know, hey, understand what you're doing and weather those ups and downs. And it relates completely to finance, where when you're investing your money or you're dealing with kind of stuff like that, it's never just a smooth path up. You're not just gonna, okay, I started investing today. I look at my statement every day. It's just growing, growing, growing. Hey, there's gonna be days where the market's down. Like, hey, you're not gonna feel great about it. Hey, you're gonna second guess yourself, right? But just understanding, seeing the bigger picture, right, and sticking with things and staying focused. Like that's the direct translation between sports and finance. I work for a group called the Northwell Group. We're under the umbrella of a private wealth firm called Newer Private Wealth. So we kind of deal with all things when it comes to finances, whether that's investing, insurance, financial planning, group pensions, all kinds of different stuff. We're a team of investment professionals. We all kind of came from another big financial institution. We were working together there, and we all kind of had the same vision, the same goals. The main reason I got into this field was I realized growing up that there's an information gap, right? There's the wealthy, they know some stuff, whereas the rest of us, we don't necessarily know it, and if you're not taught it, there's really nothing you can do to understand it. So that's what motivated me to get into this field, and to try to help spread knowledge, and try to teach people, hey, this is what you can do with your money. These are the opportunities that are out there. Whereas a lot of people, they feel like they don't have them. And how that ties into the Northwell Group is the other people I work with, Chris Lucas, Dallas Bosco, Arlo Sabisky, right? They had similar experiences, whereas they didn't grow up in situations where their parents were teaching them this, or they were set up from the day they were born, right? So we all had a common vision of wanting to work together as a team. We all have background in sports, and then work together as a team to kind of do the best we can for people out there, and give as much information as we can, and kind of try to take the game from being a country club sport where you can only play if you're accredited, to, hey, we have the ability to do just what they're doing, and the only limits we place are on ourselves. We have clients all kind of from all different stages in their lives, right? We got young people who are just getting started. We got people who are retiring. We got people who are already retired. We got people who are planning to start a family. Like it doesn't really matter, right? We have people on our team that are experts in kind of all facets of life. So yeah, we deal with everybody and anybody. Community is everything, man. It's the backbone. It's the backbone of everything we're doing. If you want to live in a better world, like, it all starts with, what are you actually doing to help those around you, right? Hey, I could be the best basketball player ever, but what value does that bring to the rest of the world if I don't try to teach what I know and what I've learned from playing to the younger players, right? And that's why I coach. That's why I've always wanted to, be involved and try to give as much guidance as I can to those players, because it's just what I wish I would have had when I was coming up. Whereas, yeah, you had coaches and there was role models, but at the end of the day, there really wasn't anybody who was in my shoes and could had the same goals that I had and did them and achieved them, and could tell me, hey, this is what I did wrong, this is what I did right, to kind of save me the time of messing up and kind of tripping on my own feet. So yeah, community is everything. It's important. That's the thing with the Northwell Group. We're not just about, we work in finance, and it's not just about the money, right? Like I said, it's about knowledge, and we feel like through what we do, we can help, like, build up the community, grow, give people more confidence, and just in general, just make the world a better place, as corny as that sounds, but it's the truth, right? Advice to young Justus financially would be, understand the value of money. Don't buy things because you think it's gonna make yourself look better or people like you more. Understand that, see that long-term vision, right? Would you rather have something down the road that's great, or something today that you're gonna like it for a couple of days, and it's gonna, maybe your friends will give you a compliment, but then at the end of the day, what's really the value behind it? And the second thing would be start as soon as possible, right? Don't wait, don't delay. Hey, I always tell people it doesn't matter if you start investing with $1 today or whatever amount it is. No amount's too small, right? Anything today and put working towards something is better than just delaying and telling yourself, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later. Start today. That would be my advice. Black History Month is important to me, obviously outside of the fact that I'm a young black male and I've grown up in a world where I've always been viewed as a young black male. It's important because it's just it's exposure. And right, a lot of people today they feel like, hey, we're living in different times. There's no prejudice, there's no segregation in the world, but it's not true. It's not true, and it's important for people to understand not only just the community as a whole, but black people as a whole in general, to like, this is our history, this is where we come from, be proud of it, right? Because it's something that we've kind of always been kind of, it's been brushed to the side. We don't learn about it. They tell you the history that they want you to know to make you feel a certain way, but it's always been important for us, especially at the Northwell Group, to do whatever we can to kind of to uplift that community, get those stories out, and kind of bring as much attention to it as possible, and kind of inspire the youth, right? I want young black kids in Winnipeg and all over Canada to feel like, hey, I can do whatever I want. There's no limits on what I can achieve. Whether I want to be a basketball player, I want to work in finance, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a hockey player. Like, it doesn't matter. The color of my skin doesn't define that at all, right? And possibilities are endless.
That's awesome.
What does being history mean to me? I think the main thing would be living a life that you're going to be proud of when I look back on it in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Am I going to look back and say, hey, I built something that meant something to people. I helped people. I actually left a legacy, and positively impacted the lives of others, right? I think that's what being history means, whatever facet that's in, whether that's through work, whether it's in family, whether that's basketball. Yeah, just looking back on something that you can be proud of.